Okay, I've let them have a go.
Yeah. This is what we're saying about Tom.
About 4 names to mention. I don't know who any of them are.
Oh! Use your brain, you donuts!
No, I didn't know.
I'm not convinced that quote's real.
Could be different.
Fuck out.
Fucking hell.
Luke, next question. Can I have a beer, please? Shut up.
Hello guys, welcome back to BoreDraw, and we're here. It's finally big episode number 50. We've got the big BoreDraw, big fat quiz of the season.
So many bigs.
So many bigs.
So many bigs.
It's massive. It's
huge.
massive. And today we are joined by a couple of returning favourites, as well as one new man, Crystal Palace fan. We've got Gaffers.
Hello. How's it going?
Welcome back, Gaffers.
Welcome
Cheers,
back.
Thanks for having me.
Tom, how are you doing?
Delightful.
Back to,
get the invite back.
I'm glad you're here. Just got the football knowledge behind you. You can let everyone.
Can you not blow me out this time as well? I want 100%.
We bleeped him out last time.
Yeah.
We said too many
we had to censor
controversial
him
things.
because his opinions.
And we've got the athletics finest, Ruben.
Hello, how we doing?
Yeah, good, thank
All
you.
good.
Good, thank you.
So yeah, today we are going to be doing a big fat quiz of the season. It's going to be very simple. We haven't overcomplicated it too much. We're going to go through the months of, where do we start? We start in August, finishing in May. A couple questions per month, as well as a little quick fire World Cup segment.
Connor, stop looking at the answers on my card.
My eyes are averted.
I see those peeking eyes.
Do you want to quickly run us through the rules?
I can indeed. So, each boy has got a buzzer. They've recorded a special sound in each of their buzzers so we can differentiate between who's who. If you know the answer, buzz in, and then you'll have like a reasonable amount of time to give the answer. You can't buzz in and then sit there for 20 minutes pondering, because I know
We
you
will
Tom.
not allow it.
I know you. Give the answer. If you get it right, there's your point. If you get it wrong, it's free for all. Give me the answer and Bob's your uncle.
Open to steal.
Bingo.
Nice.
And you don't need to buzz. Once the person's got it wrong, it's open season. Just give me answers.
We keeping track of points. Or?
Yep, I'm on points duty.
Cool.
If I'm on my phone, I'm doing points. I'm not.
Yeah.
He's not being rude.
Yeah, not being rude. So yeah, we'll go through all the points. It's a point per question. We've got in the middle a World Cup section. That'll be more than. So I think that we've got like 2 or 3 questions per month. But the World Cup section will have like 4 or 5 questions. And then certain specific questions, we've got a bonus point on offer. So just to keep you on your toes.
Okay.
Just to give you a chance, Just
Yeah.
If you've really got that ball knowledge, you'll let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Play along at home. There's a mix of questions. There's some that are pretty piss easy. Some that will get you thinking. So
I'm not confident at all.
I believe in you, Ruben. Tom, not so much. But
Yeah.
No, but it should be good. We'll get right into it. We're starting in August. It feels like the season has taken quite a while to come to its conclusion. I think.
this question, it'll probably feel like a million years ago.
Yeah,
But
when-
in August, 2 managers ended a match with a heated handshake. Can you name the 2 managers?
Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte.
Very good start
Are we allowed
there.
to buzz in before you finish
You
your
can.
question?
Yeah, of course you can.
If you back yourself, you back
Of
yourself.
course you can.
Ruben Pinder coming in hot
course
with the
you can.
first point of the big fat quiz of the season.
Love that.
Tom, Gaffers, you nervous now? You're
get
dropping ball
nervous.
knowledge,
Don't
and
get
we didn't
nervous.
even finish the first question.
Don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Starting to get a
If
little bit
anyone's sweating, it's because it's a very hot day. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
nerves.
Right, in August, Erling Haaland kicked off his Premier League career in style. In August, he got back-to-back hat-tricks, but which teams were they against?
I think they were against Palace and United. Now I know that's wrong.
We should have had like a... but that is wrong, unfortunately. But I can say that one of those teams is correct.
Probably the team you'd expect to
I
get.
think it was United.
You just said United.
Yeah, you got one of the 2 right.
You didn't get one or 2 right. I can say it's not United.
It's not United.
It's Palace and another team.
Wolves.
No.
No.
Oh,
Was it Palace and... Am I allowed to say?
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Palace and Chelsea.
No, I'll give you a little hint. So last week they secured their status in the Premier League, and this team signed quite the amount of players this season.
Oh, Palace and Forest.
Very good.
Very
it
good.
was indeed
I
Palace
remember that
and
Palace
Nottingham
one
Forest.
because I got on the tube when we were like 2-0 up, and I got off the tube and we were 3-2 down.
That's the Erling Haaland effect.
Yeah.
At any time, you might concede 3.
Yeah.
Let's take it away.
Ten Hag, this is for you, Connor, a Man United question. Ten Hag took a few attempts to get his first Man United win. Who did he get his first Premier League win against? I don't know.
This is contentious. So,
That was
Rock,
Tom.
you got rock, paper, scissors for the answer.
No, I'm going to give it to Tom. He
I have
pressed
a little bit of a half a second.
You've done your mic dirty, your buzzer dirty by
I'll
that.
rock, paper,
No,
scissors
no,
you
you
for it.
definitely pressed it before.
Okay,
Me. I'll give it to you.
Who is it?
I can't remember the question.
The
Man
question
United's
was,
first win under Ten Hag. Who was it against?
Liverpool.
Very good, Thomas.
he stole that away from the prying arms of Conor
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Sancho scored, didn't he? in that
Yeah.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
That was like
quite a
they
dominating
were like
display.
off back-to-back shambles. Was it
Yeah,
Brentford and
everyone
Brighton?
remembers the losses, but just before that.
Oh,
Yeah.
because no one expected
Were
them.
you in the
Huh?
pub with me?
Yeah, I think we were at the pub, and then we were
at
like,
pub,
"What the
and
fuck
it
is
was-
going on?" Yeah,
It was great.
Moving on to September. In September, the Queen died. R.I.P. On the topic of monarchy, only one Premier League team has ever been invited to visit Buckingham Palace. Who were they?
Manchester United.
incorrect.
Aston Villa.
Incorrect. Here we go. You are a fool.
Are we going to play? Oh, I don't think I should let that play for the
I
whole
like
time.
it a lot.
I love it.
That's my favourite buzzer. I think.
Chelsea.
Incorrect.
That is terrible. Wow.
Wow.
Can you
Give
tell
me-
us what year this happened?
I think it was 2006-ish.
Arsenal?
Very good. It was indeed
Think
Arsenal.
about
Thierry-
Because they got to Champions League final.
Thierry Henry was there. Arsene Wenger.
Arsene
Ashley
Wenger was
Cole.
actually flirting with
I
the
initially
Queen.
said Villa because Prince William supports them.
Yes,
That's
that
good,
is
that
true.
is quite a good shout.
Right, next question for September. Speaking of Arsenal, they went on. They went into September on 5 wins in a row. They lost their first game of the season in September. Who did they lose their first game of the season?
Man United.
Very good. It was indeed Man United.
It's quite a contentious thing, this sort of debate at the minute. United and Arsenal, who's had the better season?
We were discussing it at the pub
Yeah, we
prior.
were saying, Sunday will tell. I mean, if a miracle happens and we win, there's no doubt we've had a better season.
I totally agree. I've said it many times on the BoreDraw Twitter account that I've had so many United fans in my DMs saying, no, United have had a better season. But I've said Arsenal, and because to me the Carabao Cup doesn't really mean too much. It's a good trophy to get,
Yeah.
and like fair play to Ten Hag, trophy in his first season. That's ideal. But Arsenal have had a better season,
Yeah, Arsenal have played
unless
like,
Man United get that FA
The
Cup.
Carabao
it,
Cup
yeah.
is a good trophy for a new manager to win to then springboard them into a like more important trophy.
definitely.
But if you who would you rather be right now, Arsenal or United? It's probably Arsenal. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
I
Form-wise.
think as a season, Arsenal have been a more enticing prospect than
yeah,
Man United.
definitely
They've
more
had-
consistent as
more
well.
I mean,
consistent.
like, following on from Ruben's point, who would you rather be going into next season? Arsenal, who are looking to sign Declan Rice, maybe Moises Caicedo. They've got like second
Clearly
place
have
in the
a
league.
plan.
Yeah.
And clearly they've had a plan which is almost jump started to a point where they didn't think they would be.
Yeah.
And
United are linked with
United-
Neymar. That's like planless.
That is
Yeah.
shocking.
and
That's
United
so
United have
I
got a
don't-
lot to do in terms of outgoings.
Well, we've still got to bloody sell the club as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
the whole thing.
That's a pretty
looming.
big outgoing.
Who's it? Are you going to be under Qatari reign or Jim
Yeah.
Ratcliffe? Who knows?
that Qatari
Who
money
knows?
is going to carry.
It's going to carry.
It is indeed.
Following on.
October. It's all
No,
you.
we don't.
We've done that one. Come on, Luke. Keep up. It's the first time we've ever used cue cards, you see. So
I actually don't know how to read.
It's hard reading off paper.
In October, the post-Graham Potter era began in style for Brighton. Which Brighton player became just the third visiting player to score a hat-trick at Anfield in the Premier League era?
I love it when Ruben buzzes in and he's like, "Oh shit."
I buzzed him.
That was.
Oh, was it Tom?
That's why.
Oh, that's what I thought. Tom was like, "Oh
no,
shit."
yeah.
Okay, Tom. Sorry.
McAllister.
No.
No.
Oh.
Matoma?
No.
Solly March.
No.
We'll leave this open fire for a minute.
Yeah, just ponder it a
This
bit
player
more.
is
Just
actually
clarify
no
the rules that we don't have to buzz after the.
Yeah,
first
no,
one.
just give me
Yeah,
answers. Yeah.
He just likes buzzing.
Yeah.
Got to keep getting that in. Was it Trossard?
Yes, Connor, it was. My first clue was going to be like he's no longer at the club.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Do you want, if
Trossard
you want some
at
bonus
Anfield.
points, on the line right here, right now.
Yes.
Can you name either of the other players who scored a hat-trick at Anfield?
No. Probably not.
Ponder it.
Think about it.
One is impossible,
For
but
Brighton or for...
no, just
for any team.
visiting team at Anfield.
Has that been free ever?
Free ever.
Jesus.
Ponder it. I promise you, you won't know one.
I will give
but
you-
you will know the other.
I will
once
give
we
you a
say it.
hint. It was Arsenal.
Thierry Henry. Oh. Okay. Right. Well,
Think
Perez.
obscure.
yeah.
No.
Ozil.
No.
No.
The game was 4-4.
Arshavin.
Very good.
Tom,
Very
who coming in
good,
hard?
He
Tom.
actually scored 4 that game, didn't he?
He did
Yeah,
indeed,
yeah.
yeah. That was a massive
Was that in
game.
the Champions League or the Premier
Nah,
League?
Prem.
Yeah.
Prem. Oh, it's me. Okay. We also had a Manchester derby, the first Manchester derby of the season in October. Manchester City embarrassed Man United 6-3. Can you name all of the City goal scorers?
Yes. Phil Foden and Erling Haaland.
Yes, Ruben. This was like a cheeky little what do they call it when it's like a
Trick question,
trick
basically.
question
Yeah.
because
a
you
red
say
herring,
6-3,
yeah.
you're thinking, oh, there's
I
a
would have
lot of
thrown in the
players.
Gundogan out of just
They got a
random.
hat trick.
Double hat tricks, yes. Very good, Ruben.
Quite the embarrassing display
I'll
for
block
the
that on mine.
United. You
I'll
haven't
block
done
that.
very well against your sort of close rivals, have
Yeah,
you?
Gaffer
Ronaldo-
Ronaldo.
It was for 3-1. 3-1
Ronaldo was
against them,
famously
wasn't it,
left
or
on the
something?
bench. That
And then you lost.
Yeah. 7.
Ronaldo, that was like the end of the Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ten Hag said it would have been disrespectful to bring him on, which is like such a backhanded compliment.
Moving on to November, we are flying through these questions. Quite like we flew through the season. It's upon us already, the end.
Shut up.
In a season full of young superstars, Garnacho broke onto the scene at Old Trafford this year, scoring a number of important winners for the Red Devils. Can you spell his name?
Yes.
The whole name.
Alejandro Garnacho.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I've had 2 minutes,
You were like,
let me go.
yes.
No. A-L-E-J-A-N-D-R-O.
He's doing well.
Very good.
G-A-R-N-A-C-H-O.
Perfect.
He's done it.
Perfect.
Maybe we thought that was
Got a
harder
bit
than
of a
it
cheat
was.
code there. I can speak Spanish. So.
Well, then, bloody hell, there you go. I thought, yeah, to be fair, if Tom buzzed in, no way you're getting that J.
I was waiting.
There was a little J.
to fail where I was like, I'll keep track of what he said. It's correct. I forgot after the 4th letter.
That little J, I was like, if you buzz in.
I'm done. I stopped paying attention.
Fact. Okay. That was good. I like that. The redemption of Miguel Almiron was another storyline of this season. He scored a Messi-esque goal against Southampton in November. But where did Newcastle sound Almiron from?
Atlanta in MLS.
Perfect.
Absolutely smashing it.
Perfect.
Absolutely pulled that out of the bag.
Santiago Munez in real life.
Yes.
It genuinely was. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been a bit of a wonder season for Newcastle. Obviously, they had a big takeover, controversial or not. They've sort of gone about it the right way. I mean, Eddie Howe come in,
Champions League football first season. That's crazy.
and yeah, do you remember when he came in and they were like battling relegation, and he's taken them to like a decent finish, and then following season,
They remind me of like early Klopp's Liverpool.
Yeah.
The way they played. It's like a really intense 4-3-3 with not necessarily technical players everywhere, but
Just
like
runners.
hard workers,
Runners,
functional
yeah.
players. You know, like players like Willock, they're technically good, but they're not like
Elite, yeah.
geniuses.
Yeah.
But
well, that's like
We've said this so many times on the players. Like, you thought when they signed Eddie Howe as the manager that he would like stabilize, like keep them up and then stabilize them as like mid-table, and then they'd get in like an elite manager, like a Jose Mourinho or someone like that. But I like the storyline that Eddie Howe has taken them to
if
Champions League.
they do a Spurs and get like a win now manager, it'll be the worst thing they could
So
do.
bad, yeah.
I mean,
agree.
they've got a massive summer ahead of them. He's clearly, Eddie Howe, that is, he's clearly utilised the fact that he's got players who probably are playing above their standard to sort of, and I think that's a major factor in them propelling themselves to this position. The underdog story in sort of those players, like you saw talking about the Willocks, the Jacob Murphys.
Jacob Murphy definitely up.
So like,
I thought he was so average, but he is playing out of his skin.
and it's going to be a difficult summer for them because how do you go about sort of keeping that sort of, I don't know, that ethos
Underdog
around the club?
mentality, yeah.
That core.
Because I think Eddie Howe, we never really seen him as like he's always had that underdog mentality wherever he's been at Bournemouth Burnley,
Yeah.
Newcastle,
And he's always been linked with the bigger jobs, and now he's turned what was a kind of smaller job into a big job.
Yeah.
into a massive job. I
So
mean,
what they shouldn't do is splash loads of money on a superstar.
Yeah.
And what they should do is just continue
I
to
mean,
build
the
sensibly.
thing that's going to be like a struggle for them, I think, is going to be the lack of depth. Because they've gone from playing, Premier League and a couple of cup competitions to now having to play in the Champions League, which is a whole different beast. So maybe their summer spending will be telling of what sort of the plan is. But do you reckon they keep around sort of like the Willocks and the Murphys, or do you think it's going to be a big overhaul in the summer?
I don't think they have enough depth to have a max exodus of people. I think they'll add without really getting
Yeah,
away.
I saw Eddie Howe saying that he wants to keep people like Paul Dummett still at the club. And I was
He's
like, I haven't
probably
seen
like-
Paul Dummett all season.
That's
Maybe
like,
that
that's
Don't tell
like,
me-
that's like when Connor Cody gets called up for England.
Yeah.
It's just good to have around.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
place.
yeah.
That
it's
is the
just-
Scott
yeah.
Carson role.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Man
Yeah, it's
City.
like, he's
You
got a
need
new
couple of
contract.
them. You need a couple of them.
And it's
yeah.
like, how has he
Scott
got a new
Carson is
contract?
probably living the best life right now.
Yeah, you train with all these players, get paid, I don't know, like a nice little packet
Yeah.
at the end of...
I bet he had a rough time during the World Cup though, when it was just Erling Haaland just smashing volleys past him for like a month.
yeah.
Poor Scott Carson, man. But yeah, wow. Moving on to the World Cup.
Here we
Dun,
go.
dun, dun.
Hey,
Quick
let's
fire
go.
round.
Ba, ba, ba.
So we're gonna just vomit a load of questions at you.
Do we have to buzz in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The buzzes remain intact. We do have to continue with the buzzing.
Cool.
But yeah, this is a chance for you to pick up some points
Some redemption.
if you actually didn't watch Premier League this season.
We were watching the World Cup together
Yeah.
a lot, so it's not even like the Prem where I'm like, Tom's definitely not watching this
And
match. He's not watching like, I don't know, Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. But
Not
you're
top four,
watching,
I'm not watching.
you're watching the World Cup. So
These questions are remarkably easier than most of the Premier League questions. But we'll kick it off in November, December. We had the first ever Winter World Cup. Who was the top scorer at the Qatar World Cup?
I think you actually pressed yours.
No, you actually. I heard your click first. You go.
that was weirdly long for what I
Yeah,
thought was
yeah,
quite an
quite
easy
an easy
question.
one.
Interesting.
Was it Kylian Mbappe?
It was Kylian Mbappe.
wasn't
My
sure.
guess.
I
That
wasn't
was my
100%.
guess.
Yeah, I think it's like the Mbappe
It
Messi.
seems like a really
Yeah.
obvious thing. but I
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly
sure,
that.
yeah.
I was like, that is weirdly long, but then maybe it's the debate between him and Messi. But like, how can you bag a hat trick in the final
Yeah.
and not win it? Like, poor
It's not-
man.
Is that
real
like the
hat-trick,
most
though.
sort of like
Not
this
real
is like I am him performance
Yeah.
without actually
Oh, yeah.
like because genuinely France weren't really in that until like
No, until like last 20 minutes, and then
Deschamps hooked two players at 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He didn't even wait until half time.
It's
He
rude.
took Giroud and Dembele off after 40 minutes.
they were so bad.
They got much better in the second half.
Yeah,
but-
and there was like, so Mbappe was on 2 goals, and then he had this like dribble into the box from like the left hand side, and he could have scored the most disgusting hat trick goal.
Was it Dybala who?
And yeah, they like blocked it or something. I was like, he's on smoke by himself. Like,
I
He
mean,
put the ball in the net 4 times in that game. if
It's-
you
it's
include
a joke,
shootout,
yeah,
right?
it's a
Yeah.
joke.
we're seeing sort of like the end of the Messi Ronaldo era, and it's very like generic question to ask, but surely it's going to be Mbappe, Haaland, and maybe Vinicius.
Yeah.
as sort of that coming
Vinicius
bracket.
being kind of like the Neymar equivalent in that.
That's a
trio,
good shout,
kind
you
of
know.
thing.
It's like
that's
Yeah.
a very
doesn't
good point.
really get into the conversation, but should be in that conversation kind of thing.
The kind of the slightly annoying thing is that there is no obvious heir to Messi in the sense that he was the best creative
Yeah.
player ever, and the other 3 are more like pure goals,
Output, yeah. 100%.
It's like we will never ever see a player of the caliber of Lionel Messi again.
Connor, Luke posed a question in the podcast last week. Vinny Jr. to Man United. I've seen links. I don't think he'll leave, but there is people saying like he needs to get out of La Liga because of the whole
Yeah, 'cause
racism
of
like
all of
situation and how bad it is out there.
It is awful.
And like he is the kind of star player. Him and Pedri, we said on the podcast, are probably like the star players. of La
They are
Liga.
the biggest sort of.
But Pedri's not going to leave.
Yeah.
He's like a white boy at his boyhood club. He's loving life.
Yeah.
Whereas Vinny needs to leave because
he needs to get.
he's
out there.
such a star asset.
Yeah.
Do you
but
see like
he's not
statistics-
valued enough.
The
He's not.
statistics in where like how many yellow cards he gets in La Liga, and then suddenly he goes to the Champions League and like there's no issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's clearly something wrong there.
You take him at Man United, but
I
would you
definitely
take
would.
him or Harry Kane?
Do you know what? That's a really tough decision because at the moment we need
'Cause,
just an
that's
out
the
and out,
same
like,
budget, isn't it, really?
We
Like, you
need
can
a
only have
centre
one,
forward
really.
right now because at the moment Martial injured too often, too inconsistent. Bloody Weghorst All right, mate. Yeah.
Wow,
Man from Burnley
Weghorst.
coming in. I don't see him surviving over the summer at all. So it needs to happen.
I said this on the pod last week, so this could be total bollocks. It's Twitter, and he probably just made it up. But I saw that this is apparently a quote from Wout Weghorst that he said someone asked him about the links to to Neymar. And they were like, "Oh, how do you feel about Man United potentially signing Neymar?" And he was like, "I haven't read too much into the links, but if they do sign Neymar, me and Neymar is a duo that Man United fans could get excited about."
No, it's not.
And we were like, "Who are you?"
I'm not convinced that quote's real.
I can't be
I was like, "Do you know who you are?" I was like,
I can't see. I can.
"What
never
lane
see.
are you in right now?
Yeah.
Where you and Neymar are a duo?" Like,
Yeah.
what
It
is
was
that?
so weird when United did the whole weird situation where they sold Cristiano, and then Abubacar had to leave to facilitate that, and then Abubacar went to was it Fenerbahce, and then Besiktas,
Yeah.
and then Weghorst had to. It was all
Yeah, it
sort
was
of a
all
weird.
nuts.
triangle
Yeah.
of transfers, isn't it?
of three players that are just
And,
never in the
but
same
the weirdest
sphere.
part of it was, wow, Weghorst at United.
It's
What is
such
going
a
on?
bizarre
And you knew
sign.
sort of when Ten Hag came in, he clearly knew.
Clearly likes him as
and
well.
he wanted a
Like,
platform to be able to build play off quite hard on the
Definitely.
pitch.
I think
it reminds
he
me of when they
loves-
signed Igalo.
So
You know
funny.
what I mean?
That
It's
was-
like
that was
just
so
some
funny.
club
But
that's
Igalo
gonna
was
roll.
quite good.
Igalo's all right.
He got a few goals.
I remember when him and Deeney were like tearing it up in
Up
the
at
Prem,
Watford, yeah.
and then Arsenal were linked to both of them, and I was like, that is a sad state of affairs when
I
Arsenal
would have
linked to
stopped being an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal
There
linked to
was,
Deeney and Igalo.
Was it
City
Okaka
got
at
done.
Watford? He was just like the massive unit
Yeah.
as well. He took over in their place.
So funny.
It was. It's a weird little situation, but
yeah,
the problem is, what United, they're sort of like their biggest asset at the club at the minute.
Is Casemiro at the moment, I think.
I was going to say Marcus
Marcus
Rashford.
Rashford.
Well, that's the thing.
I think Casemiro,
That's
I
the thing
back that.
because
Oh, interesting.
on the sort of Vinny topic, it's sort of judging by these week sort of events, he's got that elite mentality about him, which obviously it's affected him in some way. But he's come out and he's like, I'm going to be bigger and better than all of this, and I'm going to show you all up. And I think that's what was missing at United for so long, and that when Ronaldo came back, it was almost in the wrong way. Like with that sort of mentality, he
Like
was like,
overbearing.
"Oh, you young kids, like you don't know anything." But I think Casemiro has come in and sort of grounded it a lot more, and he's come in with that sort of very
I think I was
level-headed
quite like
kind of mentality.
impartial on the
but-
Casemiro
So,
side.
but it's
I think
also
he's been
elite
insane.
mentality.
He's so good.
So
Signing of the season?
going back to your point, yeah.
After Haaland, maybe.
It's so Marcus Rashford is your biggest asset at the club.
Oh, goal scoring asset,
So-
yes.
And financially, because
Financially,
Yeah,
he's your
yeah.
best player.
Yeah.
He is your best player.
Does a lot for the community, doesn't he? Good boy.
he does. Feeds the kids.
He feeds the hungry
Yeah.
United fans who
Yeah,
are
he
lacking
does.
goals.
Lacking
He's
goals.
hungry. He's hungry.
How do you facilitate a system with him and Vinicius Junior?
You don't.
That's what I was going to
You
say.
don't.
You can't,
Yeah,
which is
that's-
why,
that's
as mad
such
as it sounds, Kane,
the
despite
better
his
option.
age, is the most sensible
It's-
option
yeah,
right now.
definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think you bring Vinny in, you do get you're going to get that like phenomenal ability for like an enormous amount of time you can keep him at the club, and you've got a potential future Ballon d'Or winner right
He's
there.
crazy. Yeah,
But it means pushing Rashford to the number 9 position, and both of them seem like players who would rather
occupy
play
the same
off
space.
a
Yeah.
player like in the mould of Benzema or Kane, right?
Ideally, you get both of them in, and then one of them just goes, "I'll play on the right." Yeah, that's all good.
Well, that was always my concern with the Mbappe to Real Madrid links, because it's like Mbappe doesn't like playing through the middle as the main focal point.
Yeah.
He wants to bounce off somebody, which is why he enjoys playing for France, because he's got Giroud there, or the previous tournament he had Benzema. Whereas if Mbappe went to Real Madrid and wanted to play off the left, him and Vinny it'd be like one of you's got to play on the right, and I don't
You
think
can't
their
you
egos
can't
would allow it.
have two of the best left, like the two probably the two best left wingers in the world, and then be like,
It's rude for mine.
so who's playing left wing today?
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting. Do you want to?
World Cup question number 2. Speaking of Marcus
we're doing
Rashford, actually. So his return to form this season has been a big story. And it kind of kicked on post-World Cup. How many goals did he score at the World Cup? Well done, Connor. Good clicking.
Score 4.
He didn't score 4.
3.
He did score 3 goals, which is good because he was on the bench. He benched by my boy Bukayo Saka.
Right,
And
so.
Trying to remember who he scored against now. I know it was 3. He scored 1 against Wales, free
Yeah.
kick.
Yeah.
1 against Iran in the battering.
He came on
game.
and scored like an outrageous goal, didn't he?
Did he score 2 against Wales? Was that it? the free kick, and then Foden scored. Maybe that was only 2-0. I can't remember.
He scored 3 goals.
He definitely scored 3 goals. Yeah.
He is indeed. And I think he was really good. But who are you taking in your team, Saka or Rashford?
Saka, not even close.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd say
but like, why can't we play?
season
Why
long.
can't we have?
No, for England you'd have both.
I mean, for England, they play on opposite wings, right?
Yeah, you'd have both. But if you had a team, who would you take?
Right now?
Not even right now, just who are you taking?
If I was building a team from scratch, I would probably go Saka. Yeah.
He's so... Well, we said this on the pod, that Saka, in games where he's not scoring or assisting, Saka is still involved. He's so smart about his link-up play and how he gets involved. Whereas Rashford, if he's not bagging goals, for me, he doesn't really do anything.
That's it.
Even ignoring like the age factor in Saka's favour, I'd still take Saka.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Saka gives you versatility in terms of the positions he can play. We've seen Saka actually play both sides of the 4-3, and we've seen him play at like left wing back before. And he gives you that versatility. And what he's so good at as well is the defensive side of the game.
So
Like he occupies a lot of passing lanes, which a lot of forward players don't even begin to think about.
He's so strong as well. Like he's not. He doesn't actually have like lightning pace. Like he's quick, but he's not rapid. And the way he's able to dribble past players is quite often just because he uses his strength and they can't get the ball.
Well, when he broke into the scene, I remember watching him at the Europa League game, and he was I think he was like 17 or 18, and he was tiny, and I was like, oh, this kid's good, but like you see a lot of like academy products come in and they're like they will
really
just get
proficient,
bullied off the ball because they're literally children at that point. But he is like grown into his body insanely because he is a unit now, and he's not even massive, but he will just bully like defenders off the ball.
Well, it's sort of like
crazy.
The Mo Salah. Like Mo Salah, apparently, I can't remember which player said it, but having Mo Salah run into you is like having a concrete wall run into you.
Those players like Hazard, Mo Salah, they're not massive, but they're just so like stocky. And they're just
Was it Yaya Toure doing like a whole like a whole essay about using your ass to like
like a bunda diagnosis. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yaya coming out with some wild stuff. Our third question of the World Cup, very quick fire round. It's been very rapid. Very interesting question this actually. What two former World Cup winners did Japan knock out on their way to the round of 16? I'll give that to Tom.
Thank you. Germany
Very good.
and Spain.
Yes!
Let's go.
Very good.
Let's
yes.
go.
Germany and Spain. That
was,
and then they got knocked out to
Morocco. I
think
Yeah,
Morocco. And it's like you, as a Japan fan, you're probably thinking, batter Spain, batter Germany, pull Morocco, and you're like, yes, please. And then you lose to Morocco.
Like you had Japan just, and that final day of the group stage where it was like Costa Rica, Spain, Germany, Japan, and like no one. And there was a point where Japan and Costa Rica were going through. And it was just like the wildest, like 30 minutes.
That group was going crazy, wasn't it? Because it was like Germany and Spain going out, and Costa Rica and Japan.
Spain went through.
Yeah, and then they ended up going through because who was it? Germany came back and beat
Costa Rica.
There was 10 minutes where it looked like they were both going
there was a really weird period where like everyone was like, "How's this?"
And
happening?
that is almost the beauty of the World Cup. It's like we had. I'm just making sure it's not a question. We had Saudi Arabia beating Argentina.
Yeah.
Off their they were like 33 or 34 games won in a row.
Yeah.
They play against Saudi Arabia and lose the World Cup where it's like Messi's meant to win this. Like
Argentina were close to going out against, was it Mexico as well, when Di Maria played that pass across and then Messi scored the goal from outside the box. But that was like 15 minutes to go and it was getting really tight.
Yeah, 0-0.
And then they just go on to win it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then what was the discussion about them wanting to change the format and not have like group stages or something?
Like third place, like the best third place team or something like that.
They wanted to reinvent the
It's like when
dynamic.
they changed the Euros thing in 2016.
It just ruins it.
Like Portugal, when they won the Euro 2016, they went through with coming third, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't win a game like 90 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Made me sick.
But they won.
Disgrace.
Like, how does this happen? It's all a bit up in the air.
It is. We're in the quarterfinals now.
Yeah.
What Netherlands player came off the bench to score twice to take the game to extra time?
Wout Weghorst.
Wout Weghorst! Yeah.
Do you remember that dirty free kick?
Amazing. not even that was genuinely incredible, but not even the best part of that game. The best part of that game was when Leandro Paredes whacked the ball into the Dutch dugout.
Yeah.
Van Dijk came over and sent him about 15 meters by just running into him with his chest.
I actually think
absolute carnage.
like obviously the final was like probably the greatest football game of all time, but that quarterfinal was
crazy.
There.
Yeah.
It was,
I was
that was the
at
next
my
best thing
work
about that
Christmas party, and it's weird to like correlate a World Cup quarterfinal to
Yeah.
a Christmas party. But we were watching it at the Christmas party. Like, what is going on? We had like one of the women at my work is a Dutch lady, and she was buzzing. And then
The most Argentine thing ever as well, when they won the shootout and they ran off and Otamendi was like, cupping his ears.
yeah,
after
It's
they
like, how's
fumbled, after they
Otamendi
fumbled like the biggest
playing centre back for the World Cup winners. Otamendi is just such a weird
Christian
guy.
Romero,
Yeah, Christian Romero. I
And
don't even.
Sandro Martinez sometimes. It's
Yeah,
like the three of them.
so funny.
Nice.
Emi Martinez, like maybe the biggest shit house in football at the minute.
Yeah.
Love it.
There's a great domino effect of Bernd Leno getting injured
Yes.
and then Argentina winning the World Cup. It allowed Martinez into the Arsenal team.
I take that World Cup win as like an Arsenal trophy, I reckon.
Okay, well. You've got to take away you can, haven't you?
This is called desperation. Right, moving on to the final question of the World Cup. Very quick fire round.
Yeah.
I can't believe how quick fire it's been. It's been pretty back and forth.
Quick as fire.
Lionel Messi's World Cup winning Instagram post is the platform's most liked image ever. Closest guess will win. How many likes does it have?
And we'll give it to the closest, like 5 mil.
63.
Nope.
No, you're meant to all give their answers.
Oh, no. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm going to say 12 million.
Most liked picture on Instagram ever.
64 million likes.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna let these two have another guess.
Yeah, go
Okay,
again,
right.
all
But
three
higher.
of you, but it's higher than any guess
Okay,
so far.
that's fair. That's fair.
Ruben,
Yeah, you
first
go
guess.
first.
Okay, I'll go first.
You actually just
What?
did the
Tom's
third.
like, oh.
150 million likes.
Nope. Oh, why do I keep saying that? Sorry.
I'm going to say 96 million. Just not 96 likes.
Yeah.
96.
Cheeky 96, then, mate.
69 million.
I'll give that.
Give it to Tom.
Give it to Tom.
Yeah.
76 million likes.
Thank you.
Gavis, you are falling very far
I am.
behind.
Have you got
I
a point
am-
yet?
Yeah,
He's on two.
yeah,
He's on two.
I thought I'd won.
But we're nearing. Well, we're in the 2023 now.
I might do an Arsenal and just fuck it at the end. Sorry.
Okay, January, turn of the year. Harry Kane matched Jimmy Greaves' goal scoring record for Spurs. How many goals did he hit to match with Jimmy Greaves?
You are nothing.
You are a fool.
And you are a waste of time. Good night.
Is that this part of the season? Can I ask that question? Or do you just want a number?
What do you mean?
Okay, don't worry.
total
18.
number.
What question are you?
Oh, okay, sorry. I
How
thought you
many
meant this
goals
season.
did he match to hit to match Jimmy Greaves?
Oh, flipping heck. 200 and... 24.
You are a fool.
You are the fool.
No.
I don't know. No, that's too high.
I'll do the nearest. We'll do the nearest.
200 and something.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
To match with Jimmy Greaves is
Is this Tottenham all time? or-
Tottenham all time.
Tottenham all time.
So Gaffers, what do you have? 220.
24.
Higher than that.
Can I go 265?
I'm just going to give it to you.
Oh.
266.
Okay.
What if that's my answer?
I promise.
Fucking golf where you give someone a 20 putt. It's like,
Tom, what was your answer going to be?
I was going to say 37. 237.
I was going to just say 37 goals, mate.
237 goals.
Yeah, 266.
come on.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yes.
I like the stat where Erling Haaland's like got the most goals in Premier League.
And they pull out that
And then
Everton Don.
Dixie Dean.
Yeah, Dixie Dean.
From
It's
what-
From, like,
yeah.
he was playing in like the minefields.
Yeah, he's like playing in the middle of World War One or something.
Yeah.
It's basically a different sport. There's no point comparing, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and like picking it up with
He
their
probably
hands.
would be very good, but like Alex Iwobi would have been like Messi times 6 in that era.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
But no disrespect to Dixie Dean. I'm sure he's watching somewhere.
Shout out Dixie Dean.
Shout out
Is he alive?
Dean.
He's probably dead.
In January, a big winter window move made his debut, only to get red carded.
On his debut.
Did I not say debut?
No.
You are nothing. You are a shame. And you are a waste of time. Good night.
Is it João Felix?
Yes, Connor!
Okay.
Agonisingly close there.
Yeah.
That was good. Very good. It was João Felix against Fulham.
João Felix, obviously, it was quite a big signing when they made him.
Made his 6-month loan a 5-month loan.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it
What was it like? Pretty
11,
much like
like
a-
£11 million or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
was
almost ended up like £1 million a game or something.
Good player, but indicative of Chelsea's scattergun.
That's sort of where I want to go with this. So, Chelsea, I think they're like sort of looking to make it a permanent. And I think he's a really good player.
He's
But
insane.
is it sort of the right move for them at this point in time? I mean, look, today we're filming this literally about 2 hours before the last games of the season, but Pochettino has sort of been announced to have signed the deal.
It has been announced.
How does this go on for them? Do they then pull the trigger and get Felix on a permanent, or sort of where do you think they should go, or do they need some just more sustainability throughout the entire team?
Has he ruined his transfer value by going to Chelsea?
I think so. It's sort of everything's just watered down now at Chelsea.
Yeah,
because
it
they've
is.
got so many people.
You just
that
kind of
they've
look
just-
at him and you're like, you're good, but like, are you just good because you're playing at Chelsea and they're shit?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of
Whereas
those
like
things-
at Atletico, his stock was so high.
yeah.
But I think it was overinflated at Atletico as well.
Like, well, it definitely was.
Yeah.
But I think he is a bit of a generational talent, and if he gets into team, the
Really?
weird thing for him is he's just never really been at a team that is cooking. I think if he gets at a team that's
He wasn't a good fit for Atletico Madrid.
he's terrible fit for Atletico, terrible fit for Chelsea, who don't really play with a person in his position. They force him to number 9. Number 9s don't work at Chelsea, so he wasn't going to cook there. But if you gave him to like, I don't know.
Do you know who
I think he could at City.
No,
They're
do
not
you,
going to
do you
sign
know
him,
who I
but he
think
could
he cooks at? Go back to the heyday. You had Mane, Salah, Firmino. You have João Felix fill that Firmino role. Obviously, Firmino's
Yeah, he
leaving
could play
Chelsea,
false nine
leaving
at
Liverpool.
Who
João
they
Felix,
got there?
Maybe,
Show you that
maybe.
game.
But then they've also got Darwin and
Gakpo.
and Gakpo.
And they're clearly
already.
trying to make Gakpo that
in
sort of false
theory,
nine,
yeah,
aren't
but
they?
It's like not really.
He's-
feasible.
But
can't afford it,
is João Felix not more of a completed product than sort of Darwin and...
Then all of them,
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, Liverpool aren't going to do that. In theory, I agree with you. It's probably a good
They
tactical
just haven't
fit.
got the dollar.
But the thing with João Felix is he's one of those players where the position is going out of fashion a little bit. He's like more of a support striker. He's not quite like a 10 in the midfielder sense. He's a lot more... He'd fit
He's
really
somewhere in
well
between, isn't he?
in the mid-noughties playing just off a proper number 9.
Or you
like-
do what Gabriel Jesus is doing for Arsenal, but better. But obviously, Arsenal aren't going to pull the trigger on that either. But
I think you're overhyping his ability.
I think he's
I
really
think
good.
calling him almost generational is ludicrous.
I genuinely think he is like up there. Like,
I think if you got him... Yeah, you see he cooks when he plays for Portugal as well, because that Portugal team is just full of stars. But like, I think, when you give him a good team, good players around
he's
him...
a great player,
I think
but
he's so good.
generational is far too much for me.
who's
He's
the
never-
generational talent?
Yeah, give me a good generation.
Saka, Foden.
Jeez!
You think
Who's gonna
Saka
play
is
Mudryk?
a level above João Felix
Yeah.
in terms of talent?
Also, let me clarify this. I can't remember the last time I watched a Chelsea game.
Okay, right.
Any opinion Ton has?
No, nobody looks as good at
Tom, what
Chelsea
was
this
the last football game you watched? That's actually the next question.
Do I get a point for this?
Yeah, go on.
if you can remember.
Yeah.
He's got to pull out two teams who've actually played each other this season. Look. Go on, Tom.
They've all played each other this season.
Nah, he goes for that, though.
City, Arsenal.
Yeah, very good.
That's not
That
bad.
probably actually was the last one. Right, February, Spurs and their terrible run of form seems to have put Antonio Conte on his deathbed. The Italian was absent for Spurs' 1-0 win over Man City. Why was he in hospital?
He was having his gallbladder removed.
That is the perfect answer. Because I thought someone was going to be like, I don't know, he's just having a surgery. Gallbladder removed was what we needed the answer.
Are we giving him a bonus point for that? Because he actually just...
No, he's got
No,
two.
that's just
he-
the answer.
he-
That's the
If you
answer.
say surgery, it's kind of the obvious, right?
He's got too many points.
He was in
but
hospital because he wasn't well.
if either
That
of
gave
you
me a
two
point,
said gallbladder removed, I would have given you a bonus. But not Ruben.
Ruben is about 50 points ahead of
never
everyone.
getting that.
Ruben
I was
is clear.
Never getting that.
We'll know. The real winner will be if Tom and Gaffer's points can add up to beat Ruben.
yeah, we might as well
You
just
can
shake
team up
hands.
if you want.
God, it's absolute steam.
Gallbladder removed. That is the perfect answer.
Genuinely.
It's embarrassing.
I put that in there and I was like, that's a rogue one.
Definitely was some sort of video around gallbladder
This
removal.
button is getting very more and more relevant to me.
You'll never guess which organ this manager's just had removed.
Literally.
Where is the gallbladder?
Yeah, then we get out like a skeleton.
She's got a game of operation going on.
Why give me this long question, man?
I just did like...
So long.
Shut
Right.
up. Just read, man.
Sitting at the foot of the Premier League table and with a permanent manager still to be named, Southampton claims a surprise victory against Chelsea with a James Ward-Prowse free kick. How many free kicks has he scored in the Premier League? Not this season, in the Premier League. Just
You are nothing, you are a fool, and you are a waste of time. Good
Good
night.
night.
12?
No.
Okay.
Are we getting
That's
the
a-
closest to or something?
Just give me numbers.
That's a very definite no as well.
27.
No.
19.
Close, but no.
do you want
Right, one more each.
One more round of guessing?
Yeah, one more each.
No.
Ruben was the closest.
I think he's matched
Oh.
Beckham.
19
Close
was
to
the
it.
closest. Guess, but it's not.
Now it's just going to be people guessing
Well,
right.
yeah, it's just 16.
17.
18.
Thomas Super, put it there, mate. 17.
We've just absolutely robbed Ruben of that.
Unless he bags a free kick today, then it could be 18.
Sorry, I don't mind.
Then we'll have to
change
retrospectively give Ruben a point.
Fix it in post.
James Ward-Prowse, obviously Southampton relegated a couple of weeks ago now.
Rest
Will
in
we
peace,
see-
Ruben Sellers.
You're quite a big fan of Ruben.
I quite like Ruben Sellers.
Obviously they
He looks the part.
they went from Ralph
Southampton, isn't
Hasenhüttl to Nathan Jones, which could be the biggest downgrade. I don't know, since like Kanye to Pete Davidson or something like that. That's pretty big.
It's a shout, to be fair.
We gave Kim K a shout out last episode, so
I was speaking about Kim Kardashian because I feel like when Arsenal had Kim Kardashian at the stadium, that's where it all went wrong.
Yeah. She
Cursed.
did the same at PSG as well.
And
didn't
where-
they?
yeah,
Is she
so-
the new Drake curse?
Yeah, she is. It's like if you've got Kim K coming to watch you, get ready
Watch
for
out.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, James Ward-Prowse obviously going to be leaving Southampton this summer. Where's he end up? And like how high is his sort of value? Like is he going to be pushing for a top 16 move or?
Ruben said earlier, reeks of Tottenham, and I
Yeah.
totally agree.
I think
That's
he's
a
going to end
shout,
up at
to be fair.
Spurs. They actually do need a set piece taker because since Ericsson left, they haven't had one.
They need
Harry Kane.
Kane,
Yeah.
that the goal against Brentford doesn't count. He
It doesn't, yeah.
he still hasn't scored a free kick since the deflected one against Villa in 14-15.
It's like when Ronaldo gets a free kick, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Was
why
it-
is he still taking free
Was
kicks?
it at a World
He'll
Cup
just drill it
where
into the
Harry Kane was on corners?
Yeah.
No, Euro 2016.
Euros, yeah.
It just
So
like,
bad.
Yeah.
how like tactically inept do you have to be?
So like one of the
If you
tallest
look around the
players.
rest of the team, the only other person in that England team who could have taken a corner really was Rooney. But I would still rather have had Rooney taking
But it's
a
not
corner
hard
than
to take
Kane
a
in
corner.
the-
Anyone can take the corner.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
but
yeah,
like,
after
would
you.
you have Eric Dyer or Dele Alli
Yeah,
taking
Tom.
corners?
Well,
Probably not.
next video is watching us take Tom to a football pitch, and
It's
you've
harder
got
than it looks,
you've got to
like-
put a corner on
Yeah,
the
but I'm
sixpence
not-
every
yeah,
single
yeah,
time.
Sure.
But yeah,
Easy.
no, Ward-Prowse could end up at Spurs. I think it makes sense. I'm not basing that on anything, but it makes sense.
Breaks of
Outside of his set piece abilities, though, do you think he's actually quality enough all round?
Not really,
No.
but like Højbjerg isn't either.
I agree. I think Højbjerg
yeah.
is probably worse.
I mean,
than
we spoke about Spurs in our last episode where it'll be 2 episodes ago from now, but Tanguy and Dembele out on loan still at Napoli. He's clearly
be
a
an
very
asset.
talented footballer.
Yeah.
And if Spurs are going to stick with this sort of midfield duo, and they've got the likes of Benzema and Højbjerg right at the minute, they brought in Basuma. Surely the initial observation is like, right, we moved to a forward-back formation.
Play
We
free
give
in the
up
middle.
all of their issues this season came from the fact that they were lightweight in midfield, causing so much stress on their defense. Defense can't play out from the back.
Yeah, it was a
So
combo of
you bring in
terrible midfield and like you put weight on defenders. They're all terrible at defending.
Like,
Like Eric Dyer is
playing
terrible.
two defensive midfielders exposed them. Like Højbjerg, I don't really think he's that good for that level.
Yeah.
but he was stitched up by the system a little bit. 'Cause
So
he having
bad.
to cover too much ground.
I think Bentancur's quite a good player. I
brilliant,
think
yeah.
I think he's quite a good player, and I think the likes of James Ward-Prowse could be an interesting option for them. And we spoke about this earlier. He will win you points in games where you would otherwise not have won. You know, he score that free kick, or he'll get that corner perfectly positioned, so that you're instantly going to be getting higher XG per game. And I hate using the term XG because it's so like relevant to the actual situations, but you're going to have such a higher percentage of chance of scoring from corners or set pieces. because you have him in your team.
Yeah.
So the amount of points you might gain over sort of a longer period of time could be the difference between finishing.
Fucking hell.
Could be.
He broke the mic.
He's ruined a really good monologue.
Shitting hell.
This is going straight on.
Shitting hell, mate.
Just trying to lift it up.
It could be the difference between finishing in Europa Conference League spot and finishing in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Luke, next question. Can I have a beer, please?
That's staying in.
It's very warm. in here.
We roll with the one takes.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
that's the thing.
That's it.
Is everybody ready for the penultimate question for February? No, the last question for
Just
February.
leave it alone.
Okay.
Right. February saw the end of Jesse Marsh's time at Leeds. But where was Jesse Marsh a manager before Leeds?
RB Salzburg?
Incorrect.
No.
RB Leipzig.
No, I didn't know.
Evidently, because you got the question wrong. Yes, it was RB Salzburg. Tom.
Oh, thank fuck.
No, what? You got it wrong.
I got it
Oh,
right.
he said Salzburg.
Oh, no, Leipzig, sorry. Host of shambles as well. Yeah, no, it was Leipzig. Sorry, Tom.
I knew it was RB.
cheeky,
I
that
knew it
cheeky.
was RB.
Yeah.
but-
You were close.
Genuinely, I would have said Salzburg.
Just go for like Red Bulls or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like
Rasenball sport. Yeah. Technically not Red Bull.
Oh, mad. Wow.
Pretty much.
How time flies. I forgot how the months go.
I genuinely think if you two get all the questions right from here on out, you still lose. So, all to play.
Double points.
I'm
All
on
to
the
play
beach.
for.
I'm on
All
the
right,
beach.
we'll make this a double points round
Oh, bloody
for
hell.
March and April. Why not?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So Room's going to win by even more.
Roll us.
In March, Liverpool put 7 past Man United
Oh.
in one of the Premier League's most embarrassing results ever.
Press the wrong button as well.
What was the score at half time? And I will give a bonus point if you name the goal scorer.
You are nothing, you are a fool, and you are a waste of time. Good
The
night.
first goal scorer.
No, score at half time.
What's the score at half time?
2-0.
Incorrect. You're out.
Can I get the goal scorer? then?
No.
No.
Well, you wouldn't because you'd give us two names and we don't.
This game is a blur to me.
So,
Like,
what was the score at half time?
No idea.
And who was the first goal scorer in the game?
They won 7-0.
7-0.
What was the score at half time?
4-0.
Okay, I've let them have a go.
Yeah.
I'm
Clear
gonna
up.
say, I'm gonna. Was it 1-0 at half time?
It was 1-0 at half
Because
time.
you said goal scorer singular.
Oh! Use your brain, you donuts!
We know who've had too many beers.
Confused, I deleted her record.
Yeah, you need to re-record that.
So it's just like beep.
Panicked. The
Hello.
goal scorer was Cody Gakpo.
Oh my god, Ruben.
Was that double points as well?
Ruben, yeah.
Are we giving them double
I'm
points
on
and
flames.
him?
I disagree with it.
I think it comes down to last question is next goal wins, sort of.
Yeah. Re-record your buzzer though.
Yeah.
I was about to say buzzer.
We'll take a little interpause here while Tom re-records his buzzer. Welcome back. We just had a nice little break, mid-season pause. Shout out to Bundesliga. Moving on. Well, we're still in March.
We are still in March.
Solly March.
Indeed. I actually really rate Solly March. So I said this on the podcast. I think Solly March is better than Matoma.
Oh, big
Oh,
shout, big
howler.
shout. He's
But
like De Zerbi's pet project, isn't he?
he's
Mark?
I think he's so good. He's so direct.
He's English, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this to Luke. I was like, Solly March for England? And Luke was like,
Yeah.
no.
I think, yeah, and I think it's been proven. Brighton, their entire team is like purely. All the success comes down to the system. I think the individual players aren't necessarily actually that good.
I know what you mean,
And so-
I would say this as a Palace fan, but I agree. Like they are made better by great coaching and a system
And
that
they've absolutely walked into a gold mine with De Zerbi, who is also just the most perfect systemic manager. Because you have systemic managers, or you have like the aura managers, which we spoke about before, where you have like I don't know. Who's like a good aura manager? Like Sam Allardyce, maybe, something like that.
Yeah,
And Allardyce has a system where it's like, hold out, try and nick one.
It's pretty simple. Yeah.
But it's like, go out there and battle.
And then you got
Wait.
Pep, who's like an aura manager.
Pep,
And
who-
a
who-
system manager.
and that's clearly why he is the top. 'Cause
Yeah, he's the goat.
He's managed to, halfway through the season, be like, my team is doing well, but not quite how as good as they should be. And he's got them playing like this weird, wacky system with like John Stones playing right back into the centre midfield.
He found a way of probably winning a treble without a left back.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
I mean, he's got
About
like
fullbacks in general,
Nathan
really,
Ake, and I've seen this thing where like people are saying like they wasted a lot of money on Calvin Phillips, but people said that about Nathan Ake, and now he's like probably been like one of the defenders of the season.
All of their signings take
Couple of
most of
seasons,
their
yeah.
signings take a year to adapt.
And Jack Grealish,
Sane, Grealish, Mahrez.
is Jack Grealish not the biggest
Rodri.
example of this?
Rodri was on the
Grealish-
bench for most of his
Grealish
first
is
season.
clearly like not the brightest man on the planet.
Oh,
But
I love Jack
Charming
Grealish.
bloke,
No,
though.
just
Charming.
But
an
let's-
absolute gem of a human being.
Yeah.
but
And
since
he's
it's
so
stage-
even Man United fans, I think, probably have a little bit of a soft spot for Jack Grealish, but he has come into this system where he's gone from Aston Villa being like Dean Smith being like, yeah, just sort of do what you want, get the ball and probably score a couple and get us into those top half of the Premier League places, and then he's gone to Pep at Man City, and it's like,
Well, he said, didn't he? He said that he'd learned like more in one season under Pep than he had like throughout his whole career.
and it's that we've spoken about this numerous times. Is that not what makes Pep just probably the greatest of all time? Like,
Yeah,
That's why he's the GOAT.
Like Grealish had to go against he had to learn to go against his instincts
Yeah.
under Pep, and now he's perfected that role essentially.
He's so good.
and I think he's been maybe one of the players who had like the biggest glow up this season. He was already a top player, and everyone knew he had all the technical ability in the world. He's come into a system where he wasn't probably familiar with sort of like how that's going to work. And like you say, Ruben, Pep has to give players time to adapt to that system. And now look at them; they're literally running away with the league, and they're probably going to do that for as long as Pep is at. As long as Pep is at Man City, I don't think anyone's really going to trouble them for the title.
Get him out of the league. Right. The last question for March. In what minute did Reece Nelson score Arsenal's last gasp winner against Bournemouth?
97.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
What was the
97
what was the
minute.
score?
3-2.
I was going to say that.
I was 3-2.
Didn't know, did you?
There were no points on the line.
I know. Yeah. That was such a good moment.
So good. And the fact that it means nothing now.
The noise when it went in
Crazy.
was just.
I remember,
amazing, yeah.
I can't remember. I think I was somewhere around Euston watching this in the pub, and Bournemouth went up like 2-0 quite early, and like
They
Solanke-
scored like the quickest goal of the season.
yeah, that was it, the quickest goal of the season. Like Solanke, like a little touch off, and
Billing.
Brilliant, yeah.
obviously João Cancelo. I know he's had his issues at Bayern Munich, and obviously the issues at Man United leading to his move.
City.
See.
Sorry, yeah, City leading to his move to Bayern. Bayern are rumoured to not want to keep him on. Would he not be like the ideal player to sort of bring in, or is having Zinchenko and Cancelo asking for trouble?
Yeah, too similar.
I mean, it worked for City having both. of them.
But he's too good a player that if they're willing to flog him for, I don't know, 40, 50 mil, it'd be rude not to pick him up.
He was the
But his whole thing, the whole reason why he left City apparently was
attitude.
like being unhappy on the bench, and that's probably why he's not happy at Bayern either, because he's not playing.
He'd start for Arsenal.
yeah. He was on like and
What, on the right or on the left?
I think at right back.
But
on
then-
the play,
He's one of the best crosses of the ball
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
I'd say probably
he's probably one of the best dribblers of the ball in the world.
Yeah.
you'd play him,
It's not
and
like
then
we have a big
you'd either
target
bench.
man, but-
There's a clip of him at Bayern Munich where he's like in his own box and he does like a little chop and like an inside scoop and gets past like three players, and
Yeah.
no one flinches an eyelid because they know what he's capable of.
Technically, he's brilliant. He's not a orthodox defender though. There's similarities.
That's
to Trent
the
in that
problem,
sense.
So,
yeah.
but
You
then
have to
if you
accommodate
bring in João Cancelo or someone like that, and that nails down the right back role, what happens to Ben White? Does he take over the role of a Gabriel, or do you
It's
then
not Gabriel?
'Cause then-
Saliba and him are both right-footed centre backs. One of them would be benched every week, which is a problem. And it's why I'm not keen on the João Cancelo signing,
I
because
don't think. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's right.
I don't think Arteta would play Cancelo and Zinchenko at the same time.
you can't.
I agree.
That's like a defensive nightmare.
But then,
he's,
so
like you said, he's
going back
he's
to
not
like the
defensive
initial
enough.
question. Then, if he's like sort of on the market for that cut price value,
Still get him. Rotate. Just like you.
But-
They'll have
Oh,
more
yeah,
games next
either
season.
we
but
get
his
him in
issue-
or
so
another
you've got
big
to nail
team
down
does,
his
yeah.
issue of like he's
Yeah.
got to be happy to
Yeah,
sometimes sit
yeah.
out.
Maybe
Why would he
Zinchenko
not go
sits
to like
out.
Real Madrid or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an
Barcelona.
interesting question, and obviously Arsenal have had such a phenomenal season, regardless of the fact that he didn't win the league. They've pushed Man City when they've come from such like look at how Arsenal finished for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, and they brought in Arteta, and the Arteta beginning of his sort of tenure wasn't really that exciting, and you could see that there was some sort of project there, and you had Edu as well in the background, and obviously you had the whole documentary come out, and we sort of got an understanding to behind the scenes and sort of how it works and the ethos that Mikel Arteta's trying to bring into the club. It's going to be interesting to see how you transition from. How do you improve that without bringing in the bigger names to sort of like, and without shaking up the club?
You got to bring in the right bigger names though, because like you got bigger names like João Cancelo, or like not that we're linked with Neymar, but you bring in Neymar, and these people come with like baggage, big time. But then you got big names like Declan Rice. You got big names like Caicedo.
Yeah, but they're not attitude players.
Be sensible.
They can both play 6 or 8. And you don't have to play them together, but you can play together. They can play in each other's positions. So you could play Jorginho, you could play Odegaard in the 8 and someone else in Odegaard's position, Smith Rowe.
But was not all your issues this season come down to the defensive side of it? Like the issues.
I think it's less the defensive side of it and more the fact that the defenders got injured at the same time. And I think we are going to bring in another defender. We've seen Caicedo play at right back for Brighton recently and can do a job there. So if we lose Tomiyasu and Saliba at the same time, say we had Caicedo this season, which is what I think we should have done in January, just make it happen, he would have filled in at right back, Ben White would have moved in, and we would have not necessarily won the league, but we would have been more fine than we are now. So I think there's always a case for both of them. And Declan Rice and Caicedo, dream transfer window for me, I think.
Very, very nice.
£200 million though, isn't it?
Bash.
That's nothing in today's money, though.
Let's
is it?
go.
Yeah.
Stan, get the checkbook out, mate.
Moving on to April. Who was named Premier League Manager of the Month in April?
You are nothing, you are a fool, and you are a waste of time. Good night.
Deserve it?
No. But you can get 2 extra points for having the best buzzer. I've decided that right now.
Moving the goalpost because I'm too far ahead.
Manager of the month for April, come on.
I'll let him go first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Was it?
You say that as if he's not going to smash it right now.
Was it Roy Hodgson?
No.
Fucking should have been. Yeah.
Should have been, yeah. It wasn't Tom. Think about this.
Tom, think about this.
No, but seriously.
April. Was this before Arsenal's fall? I can't remember.
It's about during.
Ignore Arsenal. I promise you
during.
ignore Arsenal.
But maybe don't ignore Arsenal.
Oh, that was a nice little... Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was a nice
I've
little...
been doing my best. away.
It's perks of being a
Let's
host.
just go Guardiola.
No.
No.
Right, so you're all back in.
I said
Ignore Arsenal.
ignore Arsenal, but don't ignore Arsenal.
Don't.
Well, you keep on giving me hints, but I don't know what you want me to...
So
Was it Gary O'Neill? That's what I want to say.
what's that got to do with Arsenal?
But
No, I
don't
don't know, but I
ignore
know.
Arsenal.
So
Ignore Arsenal.
Tom's got a twitch. So
Don't ignore Arsenal.
Arsenal.
No.
Manager of the month.
Yeah. Arsenal
right.
manager.
Let me get some control of this right now.
Yeah.
Okay. His team went on a phenomenal run in April. They beat City. They beat United. And they have
Drew 1-1 recently with Liverpool as well.
Yep. And this is a manager who was mocked for his ability to speak.
Laughed out of the Premier League.
And he had, if I say the words good.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Aston Villa's guy. Emery.
Unai Emery.
Literally used to manage your club. Yeah.
This is what we're saying about Tom. Wow. Football is not his preferred topic, but it was Unai Emery.
Yeah.
Who would give that to him
Tom
or
gets
Gaffer?
that point for saying Emery. No?
Yeah. Tom.
I'll give Emery.
I feel that's a struggle point.
Wow, that was a struggle question. I didn't think it
I
would be.
don't
but-
really want the point for that one. That one didn't deserve a point.
Give me 3 points for that.
3? No, he's getting 1, and it shouldn't have been that hard. Right,
Ruben.
Yeah.
If you don't get this next one,
It's a shocker from you. To round up April, Tifo released a video about an epidemic that is sweeping football. What is the epidemic about?
Schnuz.
It is about Schnuz.
Yeah, I mean, I know the video you're talking
that was
about. Yeah.
we watched that video and we were like, that is wild. And obviously, the Athletic had like some mad investigation into
Daniel Taylor wrote a really long
And just-
Crazy
about it,
stuff.
yeah.
Which is funny because I'd say about 2 months earlier, me
was
and
a-
Luke were watching a football match, and there was a guy on the touchline on the subs bench.
It was on the
doing
bench,
snooze.
yeah.
You can see it, can't you?
Yeah.
And he was doing snooze. We were like, what is he doing? And he was doing snooze. We kind of didn't really think too much of it, but we were like, it's weird. We brought it up in the podcast. It was like, it's
And we
weird
didn't
that he's
realise
doing-
it was such a massive
weird that he's
epidemic
doing snooze.
until
And then-
TiVo's video actually came out.
You
Is it
released
like
the-
smelling salts? Or?
No,
No,
it's like
it's
tobacco,
nicotine,
like
it's like
gummy
nicotine.
tobacco. Also.
Yeah, it's like it's essentially like gumming tobacco. But
And so, like,
I mean,
apparently
I've never done
loads
it.
of-
I'm
no,
not an athlete, so I just
I haven't,
smoke.
but I've seen loads of people these days. Like Michael Elise got
Yeah.
player of the season for Palace.
And in his pocket, he had
in his pocket had a snooze
Oh, yeah.
situation
Oh, I
going
thought
on.
it
a
was
tin.
snuff,
You
yeah.
can see
Yeah.
a tin. You can see a
And
tin.
apparently,
like
we
a
don't
little
know what it was.
Yeah.
in the TV video, they're literally like
Could be Vaseline.
there are players at the clubs like elite, like top players who are like importing it to distribute to even like academy prospects, which
Yeah.
we thought was absolutely mad. There was
So
like
apparently every
3
top-
England players.
Yeah, top-
apparently.
Why do you
Every-
think? Why do you think
crazy.
it is so widespread? Because
Because
it's
obviously
essentially
nicotine
like-
is a very, very much like it keeps you alert.
Yeah.
And it genuinely
Who
like
was it
makes
that,
you
like,
sort of like.
It's a
Kids
nice-
snooze
it's a nice
before-
buzz, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
And
But they can't smoke.
I'm assuming
the-
it's not harming their lungs.
Exactly,
That sort
yeah.
of thing.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
But
It's so crazy that like there's people on the bench that are like, oh, you're coming on in 10 minutes, and they'll you're coming on now. Quickly
Yeah.
pop a snooze and then
So it
come
probably
on.
It's sort
has
of
that
like
effect
makes-
of smelling salts, maybe just to get you alert.
it reminisces
I
me
can see
to
why
the
it's
time
not
where
yeah.
Liverpool were getting all the heat about the
For the
asthma,
asthma,
the
yeah.
inhalers and
Yeah.
everything, and so like apparently this is a massive epidemic that's sort of sweeping
Well,
the
it's
football
crazy,
nation.
like,
And there's
yeah,
like
like
there's
you're
like
saying.
League Two or like non-league clubs who are like all about the snooze, which is it's mental.
Because like like you were saying, there's like every top tier team now has like a couple of players that are designated to bulk buy online snooze, and then they'll
That's not their job titles.
yeah, it's like right wing and snooze buyer, and they'll probably not right wing, but yeah. They'll buy snooze and then they'll like give it to all the players. So they're like, it's not like let's pretend that Phil Foden is Man City's snooze buyer,
Could see it.
and so he'll like distribute it to Jack Grealish, blah blah blah, and it's not Jack Grealish buying snooze for himself,
Yeah.
and then they'll also sell it to like academy prospects, and it's like it's crazy that like.
Why do they need one person to distribute it? Surely it's
'Cause
not
you
hard.
can't buy it.
It's
You can't buy it in shops, right?
Yeah, you can't buy. And
can't buy it
also,
in
you don't want
England.
like.
I've seen it in.
It is
No,
in
you're
England.
talking about like
But you're not
the
going to have
Vikings.
like fucking Jack Grealish walk into your local Nissa and be like, oh, can I have some snooze, mate?
You could see.
I
Phil
reckon
Foden,
Jack's
though.
a lad. he'd
Jack
do it.
probably would.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not going to
Phil
have like,
Foden.
like.
Phil Foden on his
Yeah,
bus
Yeah,
bike
yeah,
with
you're
a
not going to
tech
have
police.
all the boys from Man. Like, you'll do training at 9 a.m. and then go to Nissa
Yeah.
after training and all of you are buying snooze. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Viking Schmints or whatever they are. They the little.
There's one called
pouches.
like Siberia pouch or something. I don't know.
Mental.
Yeah,
but yeah,
just get
shout
a
out
vape,
Tifo. We love
lads,
Tifo
Get
all
on
the
the
time. We
vapes.
love
Watermelon,
Tifo.
mate. Get on the watermelon
shout out
vapes.
Tifo, man.
Shout out Tifo, big
Elf
time.
if you want to sponsor us.
Nah, we love Tifo, and if
And
you're
we
not,
love snooze.
if you're somehow watching us and not Tifo, there's something wrong in your life. So make sure you subscribe to Tifo because big fans over here. Right, we are now in May, the final month of the season. This is being released. So this has been released after the end of the season, but we are filming it on the day of the end of the season. So Ruben's about to leave in about 20 minutes to run all the way to Selhurst Park to
Gonna
see.
run all the way there.
He's going to run all the way there to see, hopefully, Eze score a couple of beauties.
Tom, you know what? If you get all these questions right and the bonus pointers,
Did he win?
you could win.
Okay.
So, Ruben, wake up.
Fuck these guys. It's done.
In May, this is probably the biggest talking point of May. Ivan Toney was banned from all footballing activities for how many betting infringements?
No, how many months?
Oh, sorry. Well, hold up. Let me finish the question. Who buzzed in first?
Me.
Tom.
Okay, let me finish the question.
Yeah, read it properly.
In May, Ivan Toney was banned from all football betting activities. Oh my god!
Jesus.
I'm absolutely
Third
smashed
time
it.
lucky.
Third time.
He did say he can't read.
I've absolutely
say
bottled
that,
this. In May, Ivan Toney was banned from all footballing activities for many betting infringements. How many months is his ban for?
See, the way you originally phrased it, I didn't know the answer.
Answer
I was just going to guess. But now I know the answer. It's 8 months.
Very good, Tom. And
Tom.
so you get first
Dibs.
go on the bonus point question.
How many infringements?
Oh, I just said I don't know it. Is it plus or minus?
I'll give you
we'll
five,
do closest to. So you can guess, and then the other two can guess.
122.
Gaffers.
140.
200.
Ruben, well done.
Yeah.
It was actually
It's 200 and
262.
something. Yeah, there you go. I knew it was 200 and something.
It was a lot, and it was mental because I think it came out like a couple of days ago that he was actually betting against Brentford to lose.
Yeah.
But
only when he wasn't
But
playing.
important to clarify that he wasn't involved in those games.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah. On the games that he wasn't involved in.
Legally, I'm saving you some.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Ivan Toney, come on the pod. Did you see
Nah.
that he put out a tweet? He was like, I want to defend myself.
Yeah.
I find it like
Come on the pod, Ivan.
This might be controversial saying, and we'll cut this out if it isn't. But I can't imagine he sat there being like, oh yeah, I'm betting on like he's actually betting on Brentford to lose, or like I assume there's so much more to it that we actually definitely don't know.
Like request a bet.
There's levels to the footballers betting thing, right?
Oh,
so like when
100%.
Trippier got a ban of, I think it was 12 games, the equivalent.
That was
of
for
like
because he
3
was
months,
betting on
right?
his transfer. People
Or
telling people.
he didn't actually bet anything, but he
was
told
telling-
a friend of his that he was moving to Atletico Madrid, so they lumped on it, right? Which you can see is kind of insider trading, so they
100%.
they have to kind of stop that from happening.
Because otherwise, you're just gonna you literally be like, I don't know.
Our
pull-
fucking
you pull out
mate-
a random player and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna be moving to Marseille.
Our fucking mate, cheeky bastard Joe, you pagan,
it's just Ronaldo.
he told us in the chat, he was like, lump on Ronaldo to the MLS. Like, my sister knows this chef, and he's going to the MLS. Next week we read, oh, he's gone to Saudi Arabia. And so all of us had lumped on like 100 quid. And he'd gone to bloody Saudi Arabia. And we were like, what the hell's going on
funny
here?
thing-
Pay you that stake back, is it?
I'll do that.
The funny thing with Trippier was like,
I
he,
did.
I did.
Trippier
It's
was
free money, baby. It's free.
saying-
I told people at work, like, you're an idiot. I was like,
I was
no.
like, oh,
No,
he's
I've
going
got
to the
inside
MLS.
source.
He's going to the MLS.
the
bloody-
funny thing with Trippier was that he was literally like minutes away from a move to Napoli, and then he found out Ancelotti was gonna leave. And then he ended up at Atletico. So he must have told his mate, must have been like down like bet 365 or somewhere, being like, oh, actually no, can I take this back? I want it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's mental, and obviously no one will really know the full story. I actually don't think Ivan Toney probably has any account to bet on himself. If he did that, whatever.
It's a nightmare.
But yeah, there's probably so much deeper to it. But on a level that we get the information at,
The statement referenced like addiction as well.
Yeah.
But
But then again, and it's a whole topic for a whole other day. But like he's playing it for a team who have literally a betting sponsor on their shirt.
yeah, the betting sponsor situation is crazy.
It's all going out the window.
And then-
now.
And that's coming to an end, isn't it? Like the season after next, they.
Yeah,
all advertisements around like on the banners and everything. That's all coming to an end, isn't it?
I thought it was just
It's
shirts.
only front of shirt.
And you can still do arms.
Yeah, you
just
can
the
still do
arms, yeah.
sleeves
A
and
back of shirt.
and the
Which is fucked.
The boards around. The
And then,
side.
like, who is
Yeah.
it? Like, some stadiums are called, like, I don't know, like the Triple Eight
You got
betting
yeah.
stadium.
Bet-
You got Bet 365 Arena, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of
It's-
the only respects in which Italy and Spain
Better.
are more progressive than
Yeah.
the UK, right? And the UK is a cesspit of.
Is how can you be better
But-
about gambling, but
Yeah,
racism
exactly.
is like.
But
you've
then,
got
so Ivan Toney was taken off of FIFA.
yeah, I saw
But
that.
FIFA literally promote like
Gambling
buying,
tickets.
but and I know they have like certain regulations and stuff about like buying their packs or
the packs
whatever.
and everything,
You have to like once in however long actually earn sort of a percentage of your
Right.
money back. But they removed them from the game, but their game
Yeah, it's crazy.
potentially.
There's a lot of hypocrisy in football.
Yeah, and do you know what? But it's good that it's like people are actively trying to work it
Yeah.
to make it better for everyone and
I
look
think
after.
gambling is a problem. I think I'm verging on a gambling addict, and so I'm a staunch.
When the fun stops.
When the fun stops, stop.
Yeah, no, that's obviously
Fine.
that's a massive message.
But
to
would it be
get across.
last question of the BoreDraw quiz of the year? Fat quiz of the year. Big fat quiz of the year.
I'm feeling lucky. I'm
BoreDraw
feeling
edition.
good.
Are you ready?
I'm about to take the dub, so don't worry about it.
Dub loading for Tom.
Yeah.
What a season for the newly promoted teams.
Unbelievable.
All
season.
three of them have secured their safety and will be in the Premier League next season. When was the last time all three promoted teams secured their
Are we doing?
safety?
Are we doing? This is a win. This takes all. Winner takes all.
No,
He was like, no!
100-point question.
The last time
Nah.
they all survived.
All three promoted teams survived.
I genuinely can't remember who comes up each year because
What was
Norwich,
that? Yeah,
Norwich and
that
Fulham
meme-
have just.
yeah.
I'm about to pick a year. I'm about
There's
to
a
pick
lot of yo-yo clubs, but
Yeah.
there was a year where the yo-yo clubs
We'll
didn't
give you
exist.
some time to think about this.
Yeah, ponder.
I've
Ponder.
got no rationale.
Come on, hit me with just two random years.
2 years?
Well, it's like that season. So you'd be like,
the
this
first
season
year.
is 22-23. But it's
Okay.
give me like a double. You can give me one.
I'm going to give you one and you can give me some leeway.
Yeah, so you take up 2 seasons.
2004.
Oh, see.
No.
Which season do you mean?
Well, that's what he's saying. So he's going to take the 3-4 and the 4-5.
So there's 2
But
seasons.
I will
there's
give
2 years.
you a clue. That's wrong. And it's more recent than that.
It's actually more recent than you think.
Okay.
It
I'll
probably
go-
happens more often than.
I'll go 17, 18.
Ruben Pindar, well done, sir. You have won the quiz.
No way.
Ruben!
Outrageous behaviour.
I can't.
Ruben,
name them,
just to really rub their faces in it.
Yeah,
Can you name
but the 3 teams.
the 3 teams?
Probably can.
I just said I can't. Let me have a go. 17.
So one of these teams came off an absolute phenomenal season. in
You
the
don't even need to
Championship.
fucking help him. He's got it.
Huddersfield.
Yes.
Very good.
I remember that because I went to the first game of the 17-18 season at Selhurst Park. We had Huddersfield. We just hired Frank de Boer. Remember him?
Oh, worst prem ever, yeah.
And we lost 3-0.
To David Wagner.
Yeah. And I brought a Huddersfield supporting mate with me
Oh,
in the
no.
home end, which is, you're not
Not
meant to
ideal,
do.
yeah.
I mean, Huddersfield
But-
now are
Yeah.
they're not enjoying their life.
So Huddersfield.
The other two are interesting.
So I want to give just
Yeah,
point.
open it up,
So
yeah.
one of these teams took Reading's point tally quite close in their season. They're probably one of the most dominant championship sides of all time. It wasn't Burnley, but it's a big team.
Both of these teams, you would be surprised to
Yeah.
include in this triple
And
whammy.
both of these teams,
Fuck it, just get involved. Help
both
me.
of these teams are
Help
still
him
in the Premier
embarrass you.
League.
Still, as in they haven't.
They
gone
haven't
down
been relegated since.
Oh, okay,
Wolves.
right. Oh, that's a good
That
shout.
is
No,
a good shout.
it's a good shout, but it's,
Yeah.
Okay.
What year was it? 18-19?
17, 18.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Is
sorry.
it-
Yeah,
so
that's
they-
way,
so they
way,
got-
way, way.
So they
Yeah,
got
so-
promoted in 2017,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
which
Yeah,
is why I
Wolves way
remembered
before.
Huddersfield. See, I was going to say Fulham, but they've gone up and down a couple of times
Yeah.
since.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like
So
right off the yo-yo
we've done
comes
you a
to-
massive solid by telling you that they haven't been relegated since. Think about teams that have come up from the Championship.
Brentford are more recent.
Brentford are too
Brighton.
recent.
Brighton, yeah.
Brighton is one of them.
That is one of them.
Fucking Brighton.
And then the other team.
The other team are on their biggest run of success since about 20 years. And they had
Back in the big time.
a big issue with owner.
Oh, you've ruined it.
Well, Newcastle.
Yeah,
no?
it's Newcastle.
Yeah.
You've ruined it.
Of course. Wait, was that when Rafa stayed and took them back up? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. And they absolutely...
So, just for the fans
demolished
at home,
Championship.
2017-18 it was the last time all three Premier League all three Championship teams survived in the Prem, and it was Newcastle, Brighton, and Huddersfield.
Wow.
And the time before that was the 2012...
Which is
Hold
crazy
on,
to
hold
think
on.
in like 5 years.
Wait,
that-
didn't you say that all three teams were still in the Premier
No,
League?
the two remaining teams.
yeah, that's what. What did I say?
Because you guessed Huddersfield.
You said-
And then I
The
said the
other two
remaining
are
teams
still-
were still in the
Oh.
I
Premier
did feel like...
And they hadn't been relegated
took it as
since.
an-
I'm pretty sure Newcastle and Brighton haven't been relegated
I
since.
But-
still got Huddersfield, it's all good.
I have no idea what's going on anymore.
But yeah, and before that, it was QPR, Swansea, and Norwich in
Wow.
2012-13, I believe.
But yeah, it's crazy to think in 5 years, Newcastle and Brighton have gone from struggling
in
Championship
2011.
sides to
Yeah, maybe.
Competitions.
European competitions, Premier League favourites.
Both of them in Europe.
Not Premier League, not favourites
Yeah,
to win
yeah,
the Prem,
yeah.
but like favourites amongst fans
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
Prem. So yeah, interesting.
I mean, it just gives a bit of perspective to sort of the whole footballing pyramid. You see teams literally dropped out. You got teams like Portsmouth, like lounging like League One, and
They were so much fun back in the
and
day,
they were
weren't
so the Cranch Card days, like
Yeah.
Nico
Well,
Cranch
even
Card,
before that, when
under
we had,
Red
like,
What's
Matt
it-
Taylor and Patrick Berger.
Patrick
and
Berger, yeah.
Yakubu and-
You got
yeah.
Harry Redknapp being a spy behind the camp when he goes off to Southampton, comes back, and then he goes on.
Yeah, and it just gives a lot of perspective to
Gets
sort of the whole
relegated.
footballing pyramid. But
yeah.
Ros, totals.
Scores on the doors.
If there's any doubt about who's won this, but who's coming last place?
I'll give you this button just before.
In last place,
You are nothing, you are a fool, and you are a waste of time.
that's Gaffers
well,
in last place
we'll have it.
with a measly 3 points. And I think at the break, what was it? And then we hit World Cup at January. You're on 2, so you've had a shambles.
I
Mate.
think, the last question I answered was that João Felix red card one. That's shocking.
In second place,
My guy don't know ball.
we've got. It is, in fact, time to go for Tom. 7 points puts him in second place.
7?
7
I thought
points.
like 19 or something.
What did you get?
19 is
The
very
double
close
points
to
round was
winning.
per point, not the previous point.
Well, you can add your points together, double them, and you still
Still lose, yeah. And then in first place, it is in fact Zaha, who we hope is staying at Crystal Palace because Ruben has bagged 17 points
Ruben's absolutely smashed it.
and smashed it.
As if there was any
It's
doubt.
been an absolute
Chin
pleasure.
chin, boys.
No,
Cheers.
cheers.
To the boys.
Cheers.
Well
But
done,
yeah.
everyone, and thank you for playing the Tifo Big Fat. Not Tifo.
No, this
Tifo,
goes
please.
this
You
goes
can't
out.
talk yourself into a job.
This goes.
Tifo, sack him. Get
But
us in
do
here.
watch Tifo this week, someone.
But yeah,
This
the
goes
ball
out
draw.
to Tifo's bringing. Sorry,
Jesus Christ.
Ruben is bringing back another trophy to the Tifo Athletic Cabinet. I'm sure they'll be very proud of it.
No, I hope so, yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for playing, guys. We really appreciate it.
You all
Conor
did great.
Gaffney,
Yeah.
Thomas Hooper, and the champion to end all champions. Maybe the only trophy Palace will win in the next 10 years.
We've literally never won a trophy, so this counts. Yeah.
So congratulations
Thank you
to
very
Ruben
much.
Pinder.
There you
Take
go.
on the pitch later.
Thank you very much for watching, guys.
Please
It's been
subscribe.
BoreDraw. Make sure you hit that sub button. We really do appreciate it. And stick around because the summer content's going to be popping. Thank you very much for watching. It's been BoreDraw and it's live.
Thank you.
Ciao.